All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Crew Show with a little 49er update. A lot going on this Tuesday. 49ers made a signing today. They signed Isaac Alarcon, a 6'7", 320-pound offensive lineman. And if you say, I know that name, well, he was on Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago. He's a player who came in through the international program, 6'7", 320. He's not going to play this year, but they signed him to a future contract. Also, one other note, Clint Kubiak and Brian Greasy, 49er offensive assistants, are both interviewing for the Saints offensive coordinator position. That came down today. It also came out that Brock Purdy yelled at Ray McLeod for running the wrong route, and Kyle Shanahan lost his S on a 3rd and 10 play where Ray cut out towards the sideline, and the ball was delivered inside, and obviously it was McLeod's mistake. And Purdy lit him up a little bit, saying, what are you doing? And Shanahan lost it on the sideline. And George Kittle was asked about it by Pat McAfee, and he's like, hey, man, I loved it. And he said that Purdy was honed in from that point on. Also, there's a lot of reaction today around NFL circles from Ryan Clark kind of ripping Brock Purdy. He's not Lamar. He's not Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. It's so pathetic. It's like, seriously, acting like it's like you're just like the worst thing in the world that Brock Purdy is not those guys, and like taking victory laps on a guy that has accomplished so much. It's weird. It's like, what's your deal, Ryan Clark? My God, this guy's a second-year quarterback, and Ryan Clark's ripping him like, he's not Joe Montana, Dan Marino, all wrapped into one. It's like, it's like, check yourself, bro. And then, great video put out by McAfee, who's obviously on the same network as Clark, and he didn't necessarily go after Clark, but he just pushed back in a hard way. These are the real numbers on Brock Purdy. The Niners under Brock Purdy are 20-5 in the regular season and the postseason combined, and they're averaging 29 points a game, which is more than most every other team in the league. He's a second-year quarterback. He was a 7th-round pick. He was Mr. Irrelevant, and he's led the Niners to back-to-back NFC Championship game appearances. And you're going to crap on this guy? Unbelievable, really. 20-5. That's what the Niners' record is with Brock Purdy. 17-3 in all the games that Debo and Trent Williams both play at the same time. So, it's really amazing. And I loved how McAfee went through it. And he basically said, hey, look, Brock Purdy in the regular season led the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per completion, passer rating, success rate, QBR, total EPA, led the NFL over Lamar, over Mahomes, over Josh Allen, over all these guys. And he's like, the thing that I'm uncomfortable with is that I had to talk about Brock Purdy in the same category as those guys. Well, he's leading the league in all those major categories. He's top 5 against man-to-man coverage. He's top 5 when blitzed. He's top 5 in the red zone. He's top 5 on 3rd down. He's top 5 in the 4th quarter. He's top 5 when blitzed, I said, but he's also top 5 when he's not blitzed. He's top 5 when he's pressured. Oh, yeah, but he's also top 5 when he's not pressured. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, makes you kind of wonder what kind of agenda Ryan Clark has that, what's so bad about Brock Purdy? Seriously. You really need to go out of your way and act all melodramatic with, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp on television and make it seem like Brock Purdy's some shitbird. Not only, Brock Purdy won the playoff game. If you're going to crap on somebody, why don't you crap on Love, Jordan Love, who threw 2 interceptions and cost Green Bay the playoff game. Instead, you pick on the guy who went 6 for 7 on the final drive, throwing the ball to 5 different receivers, and came from behind and beat Green Bay because he didn't have a great game. He was off for 3 weeks. He dealt with a wet football. He didn't play well. Nobody's saying he played well. In his worst game, maybe the worst game he's ever played, he still led the 49ers to victory in the fourth quarter. And you're and all those stats that I read to you are absolutely fact. 29 points a game is what the Niners have averaged. And it's like, he doesn't make other people better? Really? Debo's his receiver. He says he does. Kittle says he makes people better. Shanahan says he makes people better. Ayuk says he makes people better. Unbelievable. The guy has led the 49ers to back-to-back NFC Championship games. They're scoring 30 points a game. They're 20-5 with him as the starter. He leads the NFL in like 7 categories. He's top 5 in like 6 other categories. He does it in every way imaginable. And he's a great guy. Not to mention, he's a hell of a guy. I mean, it'd be one thing if this guy was this awesome player, but he was like some criminal or some bad guy. This guy's a great guy. And you're taking time to rip a great guy who's scoring 30 a game and who's in back-to-back NFC Championship games at the age of 24. Really? I mean, what are you saying about the backup quarterbacks in the league? What are you saying about the quarterbacks that missed the playoffs? What are you saying about, I don't know, all those other quarterbacks that got drafted in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, ahead of Brock Purdy and aren't in the NFC Championship game? No, those guys don't get any they don't catch a stray from Ryan Clark. So there you go. There's your 49er update. The Niners sign Isaac Alarcon. They've got 2 coaches interviewing for the Saints offensive coordinator position. And George Kittle went on with McAfee and said that, that he thought like that Purdy was locked in after he kind of yelled at Ray McLeod for a missed assignment. And then McAfee did a great video on why Ryan Clark's a boob, an absolute boob. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary and tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. And this video is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use the promo code KRUG, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to your first $100. And thanks to Underdog Fantasy and Pig and a Pickle for being sponsors of The Krug Show. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube. And Niners and Lions getting ready for the NFC Championship game Sunday at Levi's. The winner moves on to Vegas, and the loser is going home. Should be good. We'll have more throughout the week on The Krug Show.